What is up, guys? Aidan here from Rangers Place. Sorry that this video kind of took a while to get out to you guys, but I've been sick. Just got a COVID test a few hours ago. Yeah, feeling a little bit better after taking some meds, but that's alright. But anyways, today I'm gonna be talking about the New York Rangers, and mainly about the Rangers. What are my thoughts on the preseason? Thoughts and other news related to the Rangers, and a bunch of other shit. So let's get started with the preseason today. Mainly the last preseason game, which I would think out of probably a long time, that was one of the most intense and one of the best performances I've seen by the Rangers in some time. And the funny thing is, it was without guys like Zibanejad, without guys like Panarin, without guys like Strome for a little bit, without Rooney for a little bit. It was intense. I think with how we played against the New York Islanders, who dressed probably almost their entire lineup out there. We saw Pelech out there, we saw Polak out there, we saw Anders Lee out there, Matthew Barzal out there, against a Rangers team who didn't have all their top guys out there, who didn't have a lot of their top guys out there. We had a full defensive roster, but we didn't have a full, complete, offensive roster. We didn't have those two big guys like Panarin and Zibanejad out there. But I think that performance by the Rangers was outstanding. Filipino with a hat trick, outstanding. Kakko's performance, outstanding. You've seen his strides, and Sam Rosen and Joe McClady, we were even talking about his strides against guys like Zdeno Chara. Those moves, and Lafreniere as well. Those were outstanding. My personal thoughts in the game: the Rangers did everything right. They forechecked well. The defense could use a little bit more work, but I feel like when we get back into the swing of things, they'll be fine. I think goaltending, Georgiev did play really well. Yeah, there was some times he was just soft, but I feel like he did a good job, acknowledging that he needs to, fix his play, and that he needs to play better. Props to him. He played a great game. I feel like that one save he made on Casey Cizikas was outstanding to keep the Rangers in play. And you know what? Ryan Strome played great. I think Adam Fox played great. I think the entire team was great. Probably one of the most honorable mentions. Filipino, he played outstanding. That hat trick, that overtime game-winning goal was amazing. If you guys are subscribed to this channel and have not watched my reaction to the goal from Saturday, go watch it. It was pumped. It was physical, screaming. But now, coming back to it, a lot of has happened. The Rangers have been doing things, and not even on Rangers Monday. So, since that game, before I get in my thoughts on the preseason, the Rangers have signed Mika Zibanejad to an 8-year deal worth an annual average value of $8.5 million for the next 8 years. What I think about that contract, I think it's well deserved. He is outstanding. He's leading that team with Panarin on his side, sometimes on the power play, and he's alongside guys like Kakko, Lafreniere, Kreider. I think he's leading that team. He's been doing this for so long, since 2016. He's one of the behind Kreider. He's the second longest Ranger that's been on the team for a couple of years. He has been putting up goal after goal after goal, nearly on pace in the 1920 season for over 50 goals. I think that he's going to win the Maurice Rocket-Richard here in a few years, but maybe even this year too. But what I think about that contract, I think 8 years, it's a reach. It's a big reach, especially with our cap situation in the next few years. I think that's going to be something to look at, but I think it's well-deserved. And I've seen people make the point that, you got to sign Lafreniere in 2 years. You got to sign Kakko next year. I think it's a long contract. It's a long term. But at the same time, it's well-deserved. He's one of the top players on our team. So I would say that a lot of Rangers fans could agree with me, but if I were to give out a contract, I think it'd be around 6 years, in my opinion. But, yeah. And in the same time, and I will get in more in discussing this, the Rangers have named captains, but not a for-sure captain. Not one guy. They've named 6 alternate captains. So 6 guys this season you'll be seeing wearing the A on their jersey. And those 6 guys are guys you've already seen. Artemi Panarin. Guys that you've already seen wear the A for a number of years. Chris Kreider. Mika Zibanejad. A guy that got the A last year. Jacob Trouba. Ryan Strome joins the A club. So does Barclay Goodrow joins the A club. as if you guys know me and you guys follow the wiki, follow my friends Nick and Evan, all of us have been saying for months on end that we want Chris Kreider to be the damn captain of this team. And for the Rangers as well, I've seen Golan say by opening night they're going to have a captain named. But 6 alternate captains wasn't what we wanted. And I understand that the Rangers fans don't control the business, don't control what goes on behind the scene, do not control what they do. That's all them. But how the hell, when your fan base has been asking you to name a captain for so fucking long, we have not had a captain since Ryan McDonough in 2018. That's nearly 4 fucking years this team hasn't named that captain. And especially that teams have been naming a captain. We just saw the Seattle Kraken name fucking Mark Giordano the captain. An expansion team names a fucking captain before the New York Rangers, dude. That's ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. Like, if they named any guy the captain, I've seen guys like Lindgren been name dropped, same with Trouba. I don't care who they name the captain at this point. I know I want Kreider. I really do want Kreider to be the fucking captain. But at the same time, just name a captain already, please. Like, Panarin, he's well-deserved of it. He's a great guy. Jacob Trouba, he's one of the oldest guys on the back end and experienced. That's the A right there. Strome, too. That's a good, Barclay Goodrow. That's a good A, too. He just won 2 Stanley Cups, has gone on playoff runs. That's a great leader in the locker room. Chris Kreider should have that C around him. Though he's the longest tenured New York Ranger to ever be on this team. Not in franchise, but current. He has scored big goals from that in the series for Montreal in 2015 against the Capitals. You've seen him do things that a lot of the Rangers haven't done. His performance in his rookie year against the Capitals and in the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2012. He's been around here for so fucking long. He's gotten the A for a number of years, but he cannot get the C. That's a joke. That is a complete joke right there. If you guys are on Twitter, I think you can see the comment sections. It is getting feud and fucking ridiculous. I think every fucking tweet that the Rangers have made before they announced the 6 alternate captains, I've seen comments saying, we want a captain. I even joined in saying that we want a captain. Go follow me on Twitter at RangersFan Aidan. But this is just getting ridiculous. I don't understand why the fuck you can't name a captain. Like, Saps has said, I'm going to quote what he said, we've never been in a locker room, an NHL locker room. I've been in a locker room, but specifically in an NHL locker room. I have no clue what goes behind the scenes. But if you want to go on a thing now where you want to be competitive and contend, the only thing that you need to have is a single voice in the locker room. And I understand maybe you want one guy, not just one guy, to be the voice of the locker room. You want maybe a numerous amount of guys to be the voice in the locker room. But if you want to contend and really get there, you need to have one guy who's the most experienced of the team. Chris Kreider is that guy. He fits everything. Sure, he's not like a Barclay Goodrow who has won Stanley Cups, but hell, he's been in the playoffs a number of times. He's been in the Stanley Cup Finals a number of times. Or pardon me, one time. I got caught on my words there. Don't catch me lagging. Don't catch me at 4K. But he's been to the Stanley Cup Final. He knows what it takes to win. He knows what it takes to get there. He's been on this team for so fucking long. But all you give him is a little A. Like, I don't expect you to give him the C already. Like, you can even give it to a guy like Jacob Trouba or Mika Zibanejad. Those are the 2 other guys that I see being more sensible for the Rangers to name the captain. But as anyone could say, I think that the Rangers need a fucking captain at this point. And look, the franchise isn't controlled by the fans, but the fans really do have, a voice in this thing. We're the ones that watch who are big fans of this team. I've been a fan of this team all my life. All my room is filled with this team's memorabilia. I got a bunch of jerseys, but right now they're in storage. We got some of my pucks out here. I've been watching this team for so long. I didn't go to this game, 2018. Rangers Winter Classic. I got a bunch of pucks downstairs. I got this one right here, signed by Scott Gomez, Marcus Naslund when he was on the Rangers. This puck right here, I went to Game 2 in 2014. Rangers Kings, Game 2. I got this puck right here, 2017, autographed by Hobie Baker Award, Jimmy Vesey. But you can't name a captain. Seriously. You just can't name a captain already. That's a joke. So, I can go on for so long on why this team needs a captain, but I just don't think it's worth everyone's time seeing one guy bitch about it when they've probably seen it all day if you've been on Twitter. Seeing guys fucking complain about it. Say, we need one. You can list so many fucking valid reasons why this team needs a captain, but I don't think it's going to do it. They even said, too, that they were going to have a captain. A fucking captain. They didn't say all assistant. They never said, we're going to have a bunch of guys named captain. They said, we're going to have a captain named by opening night. And I will go here. They will have a fucking captain named by opening night. That isn't an A. That is a fucking C. They will have a guy wearing the C by opening night. But now it doesn't look like it. I mean, they can still make a fucking thing about it, but 6 alternates, I like them being alternates. All those guys are credible guys. Zibanejad, Trouba, Strom's been great. Give him an alternate. He's worthy of that. Barclay Goodrill's worth of an alternate. Chris Kreider is worthy of the fucking C. Same with Zibanejad. Panarin's a good alternate. But 6 guys, when you can't name a few, like at least 2 guys or 3 guys assistants, and name one guy to be the main voice in that locker room, the captain. Marty St. Louis was never the captain, but when we got him, he was formerly a captain on the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was the main voice in the locker room when the Rangers went on that run of the Stanley Cup final. Same with guys like Ryan McDonough in the locker room when we were going to the playoffs. It's something that I don't understand why you can't do when you have seen your fans do this and say this for so long, when you have not had a captain for a numerous amount of years. It's almost 4 years, and they might not even have one for this season, and that'll almost be 5 years. They probably won't have a captain named by next year, which is ridiculous. I don't see why they cannot say, I put their foot down and make the most sensible option to name the guy the captain. So, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. But we'll get into my preseason actions after all this small news. The Rangers did make some guys on waivers, send guys down to the AHL. Greg McKegg went back down to the AHL. Morgan Barron went down to the AHL. And Vitaly Krastov went down to the AHL. Which really fucking confuses me. He was a guy that I had in my lineup. My mock lineup, I had him on a third line. Third line playing alongside Chris Kreider and Philip Hedl. He was a former top 10 overall pick, and with his performance last game and in the preseason, I feel like he's deserved a fucking spot on this New York Rangers team. Why can't you give him a spot? Why? I mean, it's good to get him down, get him more developed, but his performance last season in 20 games that he played with us, I think it was all right. I think he was great in some games, getting used to the season, even how weird it was. It's just, what the fuck? You can't give him a spot. I'm not saying that he's going to turn into Elias Anderson, but Elias Anderson, he was a guy that always was stuck in the AHL. He was a guy that was always stuck on the bottom lines. I don't think it's a problem with bottom lines for Kravtsov. I think it's a problem of not playing him when this is a year where guys that were drafted top 10 overall would be, breaking out. I think this season, if you play him on the third line, he will put up solid performance. My bad, I'm fucking slurring my words. My throat here fucking hurts. But he'd put up a solid performance. That goal he had against Ilya Sorokin, he was the first fucking guy, and I know this doesn't probably fucking help. He was the first fucking guy to beat Ilya Sorokin all fucking preseason. All preseason. But you cannot fucking doubt, and you cannot fucking see that he needs to have a spot on this team. He needs to have a spot. Why don't you give him one? But you know what? We don't, as I said earlier, we don't control what they do. The fans don't control what the fuck the Rangers, do behind the scenes, do anything. I'll go on the fucking comment section and see anything. I see what pain, what the fuck, and I see all the fucking captain comments. But you get what I'm saying. Why the fuck did you send him down to the AHL? Barron, I get you sent him down. Greg McKegg, as much as of a legend he is, that makes sense. But Vitaly Kravtsov, man, come on. But I feel like that spot is probably gonna go to Julien Gauthier, if I'm not wrong. And Julien Gauthier, he deserves a spot in this team. He looked really good in that preseason. Those power moves he was making against the Islanders, against the fucking Devils, he looks fucking great. But to be honest here, I'd rather play a Vitaly Kravtsov over a Julien Gauthier. I like Gauthier. He's personally one of my favorite Rangers, but no. I think that it's more sensible option to give a guy like Vitaly Kravtsov that third line spot. But anything else that I would say, we already, really covered this big thing. We're going to get into my complete preseason thoughts. I'm going to say this, guys. I think the preseason went okay. I think it was great. I think we had a lot of games that we lost a few games. The most notorious one was 7-1 against the Devils. 4-0 against the Islanders. A couple there. But, we beat the Bruins a couple good times. That last game against the Bruins, I am fucking astounded we won that. I think that last game against the Islanders, we fucking flew them. But I think Gallant's system is looking really good. Really good. The crash the net system, the fucking play good hockey system. He put on a fight against the Islanders 1-3-1 that a lot of teams really can't do. He put that system that he has in place. I heard people say that his system is a good fucking fighting chance at the 1-3-1. And they fucking did it. They put on a fucking fight. Sure, the Islanders did too. The Islanders played a great game. Guys like Anders Lee played a great game. Guys like Matthew Barzal played a great game. Adam Pelech played a great game. But they put on a fucking show. They put on a fight. But I get it's preseason. But you see what that team did against a team like the Islanders. Who went to the conference finals, who forced the Tampa Bay Lightning to Game 7 and only lost that game to a shorthanded goal by a guy like Yanni Gourde. That's something to look at and say, hey, I'm not going to say that the Rangers are going to win the Stanley Cup this first year, but that is something to look at and how this team is performing. Lafreniere, Kakko, those are the two main guys the Rangers need to get going, and Kakko looks stud. Same with Lafreniere, even though he almost got fucking killed by Kyle Palmieri. One more thing to add about the Islanders-Rangers game. What the fuck was that? Okay, look, the refs were fucking trash. Those two offside goal fucking calls on the first thing. What the fuck was that? How the fuck did Kyle Palmieri not get a fucking misconduct? How the fuck didn't he get that when he almost ran fucking Lafreniere into the fucking boards when he fucking fell on his fucking back, and then all you fucking see is a guy like fucking Palmieri coming at you. You cannot get out of the way. How the fuck was that not a fucking penalty or at least a misconduct? Ross Johnson fucking going at us. I mean, what the fuck? But then you call a little fucking offside calls. You call a bunch of these soft fucking penalties. Give me a fucking break. But we won that game. I don't care. It's preseason. Who gives a shit? But that sucked. One more thing to cover about the podcast. Great news. We said this last time. We're going to come back pretty soon. We should have an episode up by Saturday to give, weekly coverage of the Rangers. We planned on doing it, but I fell ill and they really had it. All the boys were busy. So we should have one up by Saturday. We're going to record. But the thing, if you guys have been watching the weekly wrap-up things. But I'm excited. And another piece of good news. The Jack Eichel Rangers saga, I think, is officially over with the re-signing of Mika Zibanejad. But I'm going to leave it here. I need to get some rest. I feel like shit. But thank you guys for watching this episode of Rangers Place. Be sure to follow my Instagram at nyrangerswiki. Be sure to follow my Twitter at rangersfan Aidan. And I will check you guys out in the next video. Make sure to go subscribe to the podcast. Go follow the podcast on Twitter at BlueShirtsTalk. I will see you boys in the next video. Peace out.